Yeah. So today we're going to talk about the Congressional Award. So as the presidential award discontinued, so another way for us, one option is a Congressional Award. So in this, today we'll give you an overview and then also the highlights, the requirements and difference, and as well as the Youth4Good, how Youth4Good can offer during this process. So, what is Congressional Award? So basically, Congressional Award is the United States Congressional Award for Young Americans. It is a non-partisan, voluntary, and non-competitive award. So, who are eligible? So basically, any youth between age 14 to age 24, they're eligible to apply for the Congressional Awards. To get started, you can start as early as 13 and a half years old and then submit your application at the age of 14. So why participate? So Congressional Award is a reputable award and recognized by U.S. Congress. And it builds a strong profile for your college and scholarship application. During this process,
let the kids come.
We have people on Zoom as well. Yeah. So, and within the process, we can develop leadership, discipline, and empathy. During this, in this journey, so basically you accumulate service hours as well as other areas. So here is the most important information, the 4 areas. So most of us are familiar with the presidential awards. So for that, we only need to cumulative volunteer hours. The key difference between the Congressional Awards and the presidential award is the 4 focus areas in this program. So the first one is volunteer public service. On top of it, there are also 3 additional aspects, including personal development, physical fitness, and expedition and exploration. So for volunteer service, so you can continue what you have been working on and to serve the community. For example, you can do tutoring, volunteering, meal service, and park cleaning, and to contribute to the community. For personal development, basically you need to work on aspects to improve yourself. For example, learn a new skill, such as coding, music, leadership, art, anything basically fits in your personal development aspect profile. The third aspect is the physical fitness. So for example, if you are part of the running club, or you exercise regularly, or you play sports outside of school, so those can account for the physical fitness. So one thing to note here is the personal development and the physical fitness. Those activities cannot be the courses you take in school, or any credit, count to any of the credit of your academics. Lastly is expedition and exploration. So basically planning or participating in adventures such as overnight camping, city exploration, or cultural trips. In these slides, basically we highlight the requirements for different levels. So for Congressional Awards, we have 6 levels. So basically bronze, silver, gold, but it can be certificate or medal. So you start with the lowest one, which is the certificate, and work towards the medal level. And each level, in the requirements, basically the difficulty level increase along each level. Another difference is there is an hour and a month requirement. So the purpose of this requirement, basically, you cannot finish all your volunteer hour in 1 month. Instead, you have to spread it out. So there's a detailed requirement of how many months you have to spend towards the requirement, and you have to spread out the hours within those months. So here is an example for the gold medal level. So in total, you accumulate 400 hours in volunteer service and 200 hours in personal development, 200 hours in physical fitness, and 4 nights in exploration and expedition. So there's no time requirement. Basically, there's no Okay, so I think it's too much noise inside, so we will present inside. Yeah. Okay, I think this setting is better. We don't need the extra monitor. Yeah, we don't need the extra monitor. Okay. All right. So in this slides, basically talk about levels and requirements. Here is a visual. Basically, we can look at the detail of the each level, and then on the left side is the certificates. So basically, those are the lower level of. Basically, this is the lowest level. So for example, bronze certificate, that's the lowest level. And you can walk towards the silver certificate and the gold certificate. And then you can see the number of hours for each category is not that demanding. So including taking the bronze certificate as the example, volunteer public service, you only need 30 hours for the certificate. Personal development, 15 hours. And then physical fitness, 15 hours. And then for expedition and exploration, it's 1 day. So, however, if you if you accumulate enough hours, you want to continue, all those hours can be rolled to the next level. So you can, for example, you want to continue your silver certificate, all those hours can be rolled to the next level. So that's another key difference between the Congressional Award and the Presidential Award. Presidential Award is once you applicate for the award for that particular year, and all that hours will be basically will be gone. You have to restart next year. Next slide. So in this process, there is a very important role you basically need to find for your kids. One is the advisor and the validator. So advisor basically is an adult who is familiar with your kid. Basically, they are going to work with your kid to provide.
来听。
Yeah, is there a question or? Is there a question or I hear some? Okay, so let me keep continue. So basically, the advisor is an adult who is familiar with your kids, is specifically familiar with your kids' activity, and it can be, but it cannot be the kids' parents or relatives or the kids' peers. For example, they can be teacher or coach or or even can be your labor. So they will provide guidance from the start to finish in this journey. And then they work with the kids to basically set up the plan, identify goals, and then track the process. And then in the end, the advisor will work with the kid, basically review the record book, and then check basically each category are met or not. So that's the advisor role. Another important person in this journey is a validator. So basically, the validator will validate the activities associated with those goals. So for example, if you do physical fitness, you play, let's say, play basketball each week, and then for 10 hours, let's say, and then the coach can be the validator to basically sign on this activity. So this is a validator. So advisor is the one basically oversee the overall aspects, and the validator can be focused one in basically can focus one particular area. So going back to how to find your advisor and find the validator. So basically, you can find a basically reputable adult who know the applicant's activity very well, and then you can basically find the teacher, coaches, or club sponsors, or even civic leaders. Once you finish, basically meet all the requirements, the last step is you have to submit a record book. So there is a particular requirement how to submit, and basically follow this instruction and submit the record book. There is the review of this application. It takes some time, usually 4 to 6 weeks for the less basically less demanding non-gold medal, and then it takes much longer for the highest award. So so how to get started? So the most important step is you have to register. So once you register, then you get all the activity after the registration date that can count towards your application. So you need to pay basically $25 for the registration on this particular basically website, Congressional.org. And then once you register, basically work with the advisor to set up the goals, especially on the 4 categories. And then basically demonstrate your dedication and contribution to the community, and also keep track of your hours and the months. Basically, you have to spread out your service. Basically, you spread out the hours in each category over the months, and then once everything works out well, and you feel like you have already met the requirements, you can work with the advisor to submit the record book. Once you basically get the award for the first application, and then all the hours will still be there, and you can work towards the next level. So that way, you basically it's a continuing process and the journey, and you can basically work towards the highest level. And then lastly but not least is how Youth4Good can help in this journey. So Youth4Good offers a variety of activities for voluntary service. For example, the meal service, food bank, park cleaning, tutoring, and then Youth4Good can act as validators for the volunteer activities. We also create space for every member we create opportunities for members to lead and contribute the community. One example is we have some volunteers worked in our organization for quite long, and then they can basically propose their own projects, and or they can basically volunteer to lead projects. For example, the Halloween events. We also will provide the training and guidance along this process. For example, we can basically provide training, and when you submit the record book, we can provide more detailed training for when you are ready. So that's all. I went through the slides a little bit fast. Yeah, so the last one is the resources. So I listed a couple of resources in the slides. The most important one is the Congressional Award, the website. And then in that website, if you click the future participant, you can get into how to participate. And there is a program book. So that has very detailed information of the requirement. And there are also like very useful YouTube. Basically two YouTube links, and then they have talks basically to guide through this process from the overview high level and also for particular in a particular milestone they will give you basically the video have very good information there. Yeah, so is there any question? So if are there any question I can answer here?
I had a quick question.
Yes.
So to register for the program, we have to go to the website that you are mentioning?
Yes. So basically you have to start. So the first, yeah, before before even started. So you have to register. So you go to the Congressional Award.org and then there is a register. Can you guys see my screen? So I'm clicking that link. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah. So basically, you have to register here. So all the activities will count towards the application only after the registration date.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions?
Hi.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. Do you have any suggestions on how to find an advisor?
Oh, yeah. So advisor can be, so I would suggest someone who know your kids very well, and also are willing to basically set aside time for your kids to track his activity and do the planning. For example, teacher could be a good candidate, like a teacher in school, or a coach, or some, for example, if you are doing some activity and then that adult is willing to contribute and guide your kids through. But parents also important. Parents are play a very important role in this journey because the parents need to also track the activities, work with the advisor. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It doesn't need to be teacher or coach. Well, for example, if someone in your community, in your or your neighbor who are also like very passionate about giving back to community and helping kids, that they can also be a good candidate.
And which grade do you recommend to start this journey?
So you because it has like the months, hour and months requirement. So the best time, like good time, would be 9th grade, 10th grade. If you get into 11th grade and 12th grade, that would be a little bit too late. If you want to use this for your if you want to include this in your college application, because there's a certain time and also review, it takes some time for basically the organization to review your application. So ideally 9th grade, 10th grade, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, even you want to start early in middle school, that's fine too, because this is like the hours you accumulate. It's not going to basically expire. It's you can accumulate to the it's sort of like the Boy Scout. So you work towards the yeah.
There's a minimum age, which is 14.
Yeah. Yeah. So minimal age 14. So you can start as early as 13 and a half, but your first application has to be 14. And then the oldest age is the 24. Yeah.
So you can start at 13 but apply at 14, right?
Yeah. 13 and a half.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other question? If not, I will end the meeting. So we will have recording. We'll post on Youth4Good.
Okay. One more question.
Yeah.
Do you have any examples from your community that get the award, some case, so we can see what they do? If it's allowed, yeah.
The profile, the detail, that probably we cannot share the details, but we do have in our organization there is one volunteer who got this award. So we do have like experience. Basically, we have examples here, but the profile probably we will not share in this like very public setting.
Okay, great. Yeah, understand. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for attending, and we'll post the recording on our website, and we also will link all the, probably we will share the deck as well. So you can click the resources.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.